going on, everybody? Welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I'm Justin, here with Meelz. We're on the eve of Thanksgiving. Eve, if you're on Patreon. How you feeling, Meelz?
We've done several Thanksgiving things, but I feel like this is the first year we'll have a prediction show during Thanksgiving. So that's always
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Well, no, last year,
Well, I think last year,
was-
right? Last
yeah,
year was the year they made the switch.
yeah. They made now Survivor Series is every Thanksgiving. Well, hasn't it been that for the past 2-3 years? I mean, time is like a concept
N-
to me.
Nah, I remember it used to be the weekend before Thanksgiving. So it used to be before Thanksgiving, and now it's like the week after Thanksgiving. Either way, I mean, everybody got the week off wrestling. Everybody working and got the week off. We got the week off essentially because we're on blood. But it's like it's a good feeling. I think we needed the holidays. We got through 7 weeks of November for this date. So um, this being a super late Thanksgiving is definitely interesting. I have um I have one random thing I want to talk about.
I mean, there are so many random things going on this week. I
There
can't.
is.
Yeah, I
Well,
can't
yeah,
even
you know what?
imagine.
Let's so many random things. Let's talk about this fucking Air Jordan 3 cement.
Oh, that okay.
Shoe.
I was getting nervous.
No, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how this shoe, which I've had problems with just in general with the way they doing the new cement like design pattern thing. I've
You
had
got the 2018 ones, right? That's the only reason I'm not getting
yes.
these because
Yeah, I have the 20, but mine's are like worn,
mine are
adorned.
not. Mine are like, and that's like been a big argument in my house this weekend. Has been
What
like,
shoes do you wear? I feel like all your shoes are pristine and, and clean.
my wife said the same thing. There are I would say several that are in constant rotation, but like the top of the
What's your
top,
rotation? Yeah, what's your rotation? I need
my
to know.
rotation this week
Oh,
uh,
this week. Oh,
has been
okay.
dunk. So let me look to my right. I've been wearing the goldenrod dunk or high top dunks that came out in 2020. I've been wearing my what are the
That's
Vomeros?
insane.
I've
you're
been wearing
you're wearing, you're wearing 5-year-old shoes. You're like, you know what? Let me whip these out. I haven't worn these, and I'm sure that was your thing. It was like, I haven't worn these. Let me see.
I wore the black cause Jordan 4s last Friday. Um I wore my neon green Vomeros. I wore the crushed SB, the crushed skate shop SBs. I wore those. And that's been my
I'm
rotation.
glad you're keeping sneaker thing alive because I feel like it was dead post pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm a collector. Like people know I'm a collector. Like they know I
yes.
collect shoes. They like my I was that's what I was gonna
But you
say.
haven't posted about it in a while. Like I haven't seen you like open a shoe box in a minute.
The last shoe I got was the cherry blossom foam
Right, right,
posits.
right.
And that's because I helped work on the rollout for that. So um that was it. But I mean, my rotations of just like kicking it is like I wear my Tyshawn 2 low tops. Like I have like a pair of suede of those. I walk the dogs in those. Birkenstocks are what I walk around in a lot of the time, and that's about it. Like I wear walk the dog shoes.
Yo, you think we can get a wrestling fan sneaker what's on your feet currently thread going on one of these fucking apps that we're supposed to be using?
We could do it on Blue Sky. I feel it like listen, I I was like, oh, maybe Twitter will balance out. Absolutely not. It's gotten worse. It is like Blue Sky, they're sort of getting it. You know what's crazy, right? I hate to sound like
Mhm. No, do it, please.
these niggas with Black Sky. All right, I'm like niggas,
There's
not
Black
yet.
Sky?
Yes, bro. They tagging Black Sky, bro. I'm like, not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. Just wait a second. Like y'all trying to you can't like the whole key with this is that like it's supposed to be just kind of like a new, you know what I mean? Just chill.
You know what I fucking hate?
What?
Lem This is also random. Maybe we'll get back to the sneaker one day. I hate when people are fucking assholes on Twitter or jerks or losers or lames and then say, "This app is too toxic. I'm going over to Blue Sky."
Oh yeah, that's happened multiple times. It's like The
Oh, I
the
can't
thing
believe
is
I stayed on there for so long. It was like, bitch, you were the problem.
the thing is that like y'all think y'all aren't gonna be getting your Kofi slapped on Blue Sky soon. Like it's gonna happen. Like you have maybe a month of safety there before the Kofi slappers come. And then the people that are preparing for the Kofi slappers to come are the people that are making it Black Sky and saying, "Oh, Black Sky, tag it." I'm like, bro, we got a space. You know why we have a space on Blue Sky right now? It's because we're creating the space. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm not trying to find niggas on Black Sky. Like it's just weird.
Black Sky is crazy. Black Sky is that's too early Twitter. Like it's way
Yes, you don't
it's
need
like
Black Sky. Just
yeah, no, we
chill.
don't need Black Sky. This is the internet now. Like we're here, you know?
It's too much for me. I saw that now. There is too much. But I mean, to be fair, I think we could do something really cool. We could do some really cool things on there. I've just been lurking, but I only lurk because I don't see
I
you post on there. Like you still,
I don't post. No, I don't post there. I'm still on Twitter. I'm just like I can't do both. And I'm not ready to make the jump yet. I'm just not. Not like it's like a big thing, but I'm just like I think my timeline here's how I kind of like treat social media as well. Well, first of all, my timeline is curated with all my friends and all the people that I like and all these things that I kind of want to see. And occasionally there'll be like, Air Gold tweet some random shit about AEW, but I know what he's doing, so I don't even pay attention to that. And realistically, there's a lot of shit that I just don't give any credence to. I don't knowing that I don't have to respond to everything. I don't have to. Um, but sometimes I just literally log on Twitter, I tweet, and then I just walk away. And that's really it. I don't um I'm not here to like completely, you know, I don't know, I'm not as affected by it because sometimes I just like I kind of control what I want to do, and then if I don't like something, I'll probably pretty much just walk away. I did log on to Blue Sky last night to re-follow back everyone who followed me on there. Um, but I have not blue skied as of yet. No. I don't even know what my first post would be. Not that that matters. Um,
I was whatever. Like
yeah, I'm just because I don't even remember my first post on. It was early days of Twitter. That here's my first memory of Twitter. You want to get it? Um, my first memory of Twitter was I followed one of my friends from college,
yeah,
and I remember I hit her up, and I was like, "Dang, you tweet a lot. Like, I only see you on my timeline." To which he said, "Bitch, follow more people." And I
wow,
said, "You know what? Fair.
that's deep.
It is."
My first tweet was Gucci bandana, Gucci bandana. I'll never forget that. That was my first tweet on Twitter was Soldier Boy Gucci bandana.
Oh my god.
Gucci bandana. Gucci
All
bandana.
questionable. Like, this is why I'm not really when people go back to old tweets, I'm like, you kind of had to be there
Yeah.
because everyone's tweets is wild as fuck in like 2010 through 2009 through 2000 like 13. Like I feel like low key the cutting off point was Rick Ross's verse on You and You Know.
Yeah, that's what but that and Mike Brown was really the well, we keep that okay, that might be a little too deep. But
All right. Because I literally low key, I feel like You Only You Know was like the first time people were like, "Oh,"
whoa, niggas like, whoa,
because it's like, "Whoa,
that happened? I
Molly
hear
on
that?
my drink." She ain't even. I was like, we were like, "Whoa, hold up, Rick Ross, relax."
Niggas
And
tripping.
his approval rating was like sky 2013. This is like peak Ross. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
He had the
This
icy
is like,
title.
yeah,
He did. He had the icy
he
title.
did. He did have the IC title. Well, this is like, all right. When do you consider him having the world title? Like, was it
He never had
not
it.
Teflon Don? You don't like not even like God forgives I don't.
No, he never had it.
Wow.
God forgives I don't never win platinum.
But it's like, so I'm not gonna give it to
Drake, you know,
Teflon
when God
Don.
forgives I don't came out, Drake had the world title at that time.
Let me see. What year is this? 2012. But 2012 was the year that Drake took off and he was just doing verses.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, he didn't put out an album and he still had the biggest the biggest impact in the game.
no, this is true. This is true. Um, wow, Ross never had the world title. That's a I give not even like the
Never
world
had it.
heavydeweight championship, like
No, he's never had it. He never had it. He's never had the world. He was a
even
perennial
if
IC
there were
champ.
2 world titles,
Because think
he didn't even have 1.
because think about it. Even when Teflon Don dropped,
Teflon Don I don't count because that's like the breakthrough. That's like your moment, you
Thank Me
know?
Later was on top then, right? And then the year after that, Take Care came out. And then it was just kind of like him and Drake were cool, but it was like, you know what I mean? Like it was just undeniable at that point. Like it was like he there was always someone better than Ross. You know what I'm saying? Like there was always
Of
somebody better.
course.
I think that he could have gotten the world title had he not, and it's gonna sound fucked up, had those medical issues right before God Forgives I Don't originally was supposed to drop. Remember when he was
Uh,
slapping Jeezy up on Hot 97 and then
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
coming out December, we don't do pushbacks. And then it got pushed back. And
Let me ask you a question then. Well, finish your thought.
yeah, like I think that if he would have continued that momentum, he took like 2 months off, and then then Rich Forever came out, right? Cool,
Right.
but then what was the biggest verse from Rich Forever? It was
I
Stay
mean,
Scheming Drake verse.
yeah, but I don't know. I just part of me I could see him having the world heavyweight championship on some like Dolph Ziggler shit. But
If
like
he did, he lost it on Raw the next week.
Drake was injured. He had to give up the Ross won the title in a battle royale.
And Triple H said, "Wait a goddamn minute."
Fucking hell. All right. So the question I was gonna ask you was, when did Hove win his first world title? Then,
His first world title. Let's
like,
see here.
when does he win the world? Like, when does he really win the big one?
When did
Because
Hove win?
he's never like was Jay Z was like never was he the? I mean, there were a couple of years where he was like,
Um, that's a good ass question.
because it might be for a while. It might take a bit.
Yeah, he didn't have it for a minute.
He might have retired with the world title like Daniel Bryan.
Well, Blueprint was like debatable because Blueprint he gets it.
Eminem was the biggest though.
Well, but he ran the fall. Let's be clear, like he ran the fall. So he Eminem might have went out due to injury or some shit. Like he got ran over like Stone Cold, right? Jay gets the
Emin
title.
all right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's undeniable. We niggas. So like,
Yes, of course. Yes.
I'm never gonna concede it. Like Eminem, yeah, he had it. Whatever. He had it. He had the hardcore title, nigga. Like I'm never gonna concede the rap world title of this nigga this many times. Jay was on another show. How about that? Jay was on another show. So
Sure.
Jay had the WWE title at the time, right? He gets it. Then he loses it in 2 months to Nas anyway for like 2.5 to 4 months before Jay like resurfaces and says
Yeah,
I'm
like that
retiring.
Kane run or something.
Yeah, like Nas had it for like a very short amount of time in the early 2000s, and then it just kind of imploded for Hove at one point. But it's like I
He
can't say that he had it until like
he had like the Edge run where he finally wins it, but then 3 weeks later loses to John Cena. But he has multiple title reigns all after the fact.
yeah, because you gotta think like Jay had the same issue Ross had for a while before it was undeniable for Jay, right? Like
Yes.
Ross wasn't able to have the same success unfettered by Lil Wayne being there, Ti being there, all these people that were still there while he was trying to win that title, Future being there at one point. Like all these people were popping up when he was trying. Jay was able to do that unfettered, but only after Tupac and Biggie died. You know what I'm saying? Like those two had to
Right.
like pass away for him to get like a. I would say he was really Bret Hart at that one point in like the late '90s, early 2000s. He was really Bret
But
Hart.
then but then, all right, so I'm trying to think, okay, he might retire with the world title, but then I'm assuming 50 had like
Yes,
but he had had to have had it that year too.
50 was
So he 2003 he had it. Hove might have like won it. It's like a big title change kind of vibe.
yeah,
But then since he's retiring, it was like he relinquished it.
tournament between Jaw and 50.
And then 50 wins it again 2004. I'm trying to think who's yeah, it might have been 2004.
Or yeah, that's right. Well, no, 2003, bro. Well, it's Black. Well, here's the thing: 50 wins at Royal Rumble February.
Yeah,
Then he
yeah,
loses it back to Hove in the fall.
Yeah.
When he wins it back from Hove literally the next month because he put out fucking G Unit Back for Mercy, nigga. Like
He had Back
that
for
ended up selling
Mercy.
more than Black Album did.
This is a great discussion, man.
Yeah, like it, when you think about it, because the thing is, it's very it's very tough to like. There hasn't been very many uh world champions since, right? It's basically been it's basically been one guy for the past 4 years until like this year.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a big Roman reign. Yeah, like the Roman reign, essentially. But yeah, no, there hasn't been a lot of world champions. Maybe a lot of intercontinental champions. Maybe some tag teams. Maybe a continental title somewhere. But definitely not a lot of world champions.
Yeah, like Drake's had it for 4 years. Kendrick has it right now. I I I think it's sustainable up to February. Nice little run.
I think I don't know. I don't know who else is there.
It's gonna go back to him or to Cole or Drake. It's how it's been for the past 4 years. The only time Kendrick did not win, like grab the
Yeah,
title
because
from
he
Drake
doesn't have a like a long sustained run.
ever. This is the first
Yeah.
time he's tried to, but
Yeah.
like I think that I honestly think like I know people are talking shit right now. If Drake says I'm coming out tomorrow, it's gonna all they want to see what he's gonna say. It's gonna go right back
Absolutely.
to him. They
No,
they
for
want to
sure.
see what he's gonna say. So like it's never been sustained like this. You're right. The only time he's never gotten the title just off rip was 2022. It was like no one gave a shit in
Yeah.
2022 what the fuck he was doing.
This is a great discussion. How did we end up here from sneakers? I just wanted to say that the cement threes, the cement design is nasty, and I've hated on it for years. But now seeing them on this like beloved shoe makes it even worse for me. So yeah, 2018s are staying in the tuck for now.
I'm glad I had some self control and didn't go for him.
Yeah, I mean, but they cost so much more now, which is nuts. They're like $50 more or $30
Wait,
more.
what? They're 230?
They're like 220.
I couldn't do it. I looked at them and I was like, I really don't even wear the ones I have right now. So like I can't fathom even trying to do that right now.
You were
Just
lucky. I wish I didn't wear my 2018. Yo, they just did it today. They did a shock drop of these Air Jordan 11s Legend Blue, $230. And the reason they're doing shock drops is because I feel like people aren't going to buy them, and they actually drop them. So
I
they're
had the
trying to
Legend
make the
Blue.
they're trying to make it the semblance of like exclusivity, shock drop, which is
I think
nice. But
I think Nike needs to severely go back to the drawing board, um, in terms of making the holiday stuff feel good again. I think that the holiday used to be like a big time for Nike shoes, right? It used to be really, really, really popping. And I
yeah,
think there's
yeah,
actually too much. I think that they should go back to the Black Friday drop, the Christmas drop, and that's usually the 11s. We already know the 11s drop, but
yeah,
there's
yeah,
also like two pairs of 11s that's dropped in the past month. So like I'm already like you're oversaturating it with you're
yeah. And
dragging
I
it
don't
ridiculous.
think everybody got 11s now. I don't care about
Yeah.
that and damn Seth Rollins ass shoes, nigga.
The
Like,
suede, the suede like 11, like the suede breads.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I'm straight on those. Like we don't need those. They need to bring it back. And by all intents and purposes, next year they put in belt to ass. There's a lot of shit that I want next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. Of course, of
Next
course.
next year looks crazy, but I think that they need to have some semblance of making these drops feel good and important and have the storytelling. And I hope they go back to that because just dropping like usually Mills they drop these threes around February. Like they'll drop the fucking white cements around February when he did the slam dunk contest. Remember the slam dunk white cement threes that came out
Yeah,
a long time ago? Like that was such a great story and had such great storytelling. The box is one of my favorites of all time. And they just don't have that anymore. Like I like the reimagined ones from last year, but like they had nothing. They had whoa, was that Nike?
it might have been. Listen,
Oh,
it's 6 o'clock now, so it's 5 o'clock. So it's a different world out here.
but yeah, like I think the storytelling just needs to be better. But I you sent me a TikTok of it, and I was just like, you niggas, y'all
Yeah,
don't need to have multiple of these. You could just get the 2018s again, bro. Let's get the 2018s again.
How much do you think 2018 is going for on StockX right now? Let me see. StockX. It probably $1 billion at this point. Um. Also, I wouldn't buy them if if they're from legit from 2018. I might not buy them from StockX. Um.
You might get us some shit from 2002, man.
Yeah, the shit that's breaking apart like a goddamn Nature Valley bar. 288 is not bad.
I would
I
do that right
can,
now. I pull the
I
trigger right now on that.
yeah, I could buy it for my size would be 300. That's not that bad.
Thing is, right? Thing is,
2018 though,
I mean, that's fine. Just get more. The thing is, the white cement 4 is coming out next year, so
right?
I need
But
trio.
then, but the cement design, this is I don't know. Whatever, we'll see.
But that's just like a speckle design on the 4s, so
This is true. This is true.
that's the speckle. Give me the speckle.
Let's see. You want
What
to talk
else
about
happened?
wrestling a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk
Because we
about.
got a lot to talk about. We got the pay per view that happened over the weekend that we can get some big points about. We'll leave the majority of it to Cyrus and Quan. If
Yeah,
Cyrus is back this week, I'm not sure if he is. Um,
Cyrus living his
shout to
best life.
yeah. I mean, he going to school, so I just assumed he was locked TF in.
Nigga ain't locked.
So don't tell Quan that. Um, Chris, shout out to Chris Mack and Quan on the show last week. Um, this week, so we got some kind of like breaking news. For I don't even know if it's free agent news. We got a new Ricky Starks watch. Um, Ricky Starks has been reported by Fightful as of this morning that Ricky Starks they finally got some like intel on his contract. I feel like he had to show up to the show at Full Gear and probably tell somebody for someone to find out
Sounds like
because
feels like he went to Full Gear to to get confirmation that like, am I good to go in
yeah.
this time? Right? Yeah.
So because he was taking a picture at Full Gear and he was at GCW over the weekend, which was also in Jersey. So he's been making appearances. He was on Chris Van. Is it Valet? Valette? I keep
Chris
forgetting.
Valet, I believe.
Yeah, I keep disrespect. I hope I'm not disrespecting this white man's name. But uh, the news came out on Fightful that his contract is expected to expire sometime either in the spring or summer of 2025. I'm assuming spring or summer is at the behest of whatever Tony Khan
Yeah,
feels.
whatever he decides. If I was to like throw a dart at the board, I'd be aiming at April. Like
Yeah,
I would aim post Mania.
post Mania. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not fucking me up on this one.
Yeah, he's like, "You're not
Um,
showing up to Mania, motherfucker. Have fun on the
have fun on
NXT after
Cody.
Mania."
Have fun on Cody's truck, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, but he's been outspoken. He's on the I listened to the entire episode today essentially, and he was essentially like, I don't know what the problem is. They just haven't used me. I would like to be used. I have no problems with being used. I don't know why they're not using me. Initially there was some suspicion over he got heat over kind of being at WrestleMania, but then we also learned that several other AEW wrestlers were at WrestleMania um
I feel like
this
that's a
year.
black I feel like that's a black man, I feel like that's a black man how I wanna say that, like double standard type shit, right? Like, it's like, "Oh, they allowed you to do it, but I can't do it." You know what I'm
Can
saying? Like,
I give my conspiracy theory on this?
yeah.
I feel like people weren't happy with because it was last year's Royal Rumble when Cody won the first time, where they got the security footage of him walking to the truck, and I feel like people weren't happy then, and people were probably in Tony Khan's ear then, but he was just like whatever. But then when the second footage came out and he's like losing his fucking mind when Cody's winning the championship, I feel like again people came. Loki might be like a Jericho or someone like that. That's how Loki how I feel.
Yeah.
Um, the people just weren't happy with it. So they're just like, yo, if you really want to go to WWE, you can do that. But then I also feel like if there's a reason Tony Khan's not using him on television, it's probably because he has had contact with someone at WWE and Tony
Uh,
Khan feels personally threatened by it. This is
okay.
just my pie in the sky conspiracy because there's no reason why to keep someone off of TV this long.
Yeah, especially if you're paying them.
Yeah.
Like in those contracts, are not cheap. Like they're getting paid a lot of money. I'm sure he's not probably getting MJF money, but he's not. It's no slouch. He's getting paid. You know.
Or Edge probably like, listen, man, I know how they do it over there. I know how they get down. I know how H gets down.
Yeah, I hate H, but
Yeah,
you
you
ain't
know what I'm
H, man.
saying. So I just think, yeah, it's an interesting, but I mean, spring, summer 2025 is not that far away. If he just wants to chill, continue to do indie dates, continue to put his name out there, and by all means do it. He's spotted at Full Gear, and that is that.
That
Um,
interview made me like him a lot more though. I did listen to it when I was on my way
yeah,
back.
he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Very fashionable. Um,
Uh,
he so than others.
okay.
More so than others. What else happened this week in
Jade
wrestling?
Cargill, man. We gotta talk about Jade because we
Oh
weren't really
yeah.
sure what was going
She's
on.
dead for real, for real. I had to ask Twitter. I was like, yo, she dead for real, or for play
Yeah.
play?
Jade supposedly, well, Dave Meltzer talk. We don't really know. Dave Meltzer says give it 3 months. A lot of people, but other people have come out and said that this is a real injury. It's being kind of alleged that it's her neck or it's a neck injury or some sort of neck injury, and that she could
Mm,
potentially lose Mania because of this. Like, or lose a spot at Mania for this. Like, it's looking really bad for her. Not really sure what it is. She hasn't even posted or anything since, so which is very uncharacteristic of her. But I'm sure they're
good.
just
Sell the gimmick, you know?
yeah they
Not
probably told her to
fucking
sell the team.
Swerve got shit the other day and was talking shit the next day, you know? Um, but that's good. That's good. But yeah. What a way to first of all, the death on SmackDown was crazy, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, super. We I mean, I'm thinking it's storyline, but I mean, they really did. If they're doing what it looks like they're doing, they made chicken salad out of chicken shit here with that because that could have been very detrimental to the actual Survivor Series War Games idea that they were going with. I mean, we wish her the best in her, recovery. I think that again, it's just the timing is just so terrible because she's set to have a really big moment in War Games, set to have really big moments at Royal Rumble, where she debuted at this year and beyond. This could have been like her first Mania, where she's either in a tag match with Bianca or doing her first singles match. Like, it's really a bummer to hear about this news.
Is it weird that I feel like most injuries, like I don't want to say I expected this, but it's been happening more recently than not. Like Cody comes over, Cody has this debilitating injury. Punk comes over, Punk has this kind of injury. Jade comes over, and while she was active for quite some time, then she has the injury. I think it's all part of the game, sort of. And I think she will. Hopefully, she's back sooner than later. But at this point, I'm sure WWE is like, we don't even want to rush it, um, because you're such a top talent that if you're not going to be fully 100%, like for instance, Seth, who comes back one knee for Mania, gets the shit kicked out of him and has to go actually have surgery again. I don't think she gets that rope that Seth does.
Yeah.
Um, but it would, it's a bummer. It's a real bummer because she was doing her best work. She was going to be in the US title tournament. She looked like she was getting very comfortable in the WWE setting and stuff like that, and just being comfortable as a fixture on camera. And yeah, I hope this isn't like, yo, this is the last we're going to see of her until like 2026. I hope it's not. Um, but you never know with neck injuries. So, we wish all the best to Jade and kind of like all of that.
I'm hoping it's 3 months. I'm hoping it doesn't fuck up the Mania's plans for her because her success story is something that I think a lot of people are paying attention to, and then there's a lot of people rooting for her. A lot of people that's not rooting for her. So we want to prove them wrong, but it's also people that
Absolutely.
are, it's also people that are rooting for her. So best of luck in her recovery, and hopefully it's not as heinous as that beatdown was. They gave her a paragraph of injuries on the site.
Nah, they made some shit up. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's kind of nuts.
Broke her funny
But
bone, her clavicle, her
the way
aorta.
she was knocked out on the hood of that car, I was like, yo, you funny style with it. Come on
It was
now.
it was fashionable though. It looked like, what I'm saying? Remember back in the day,
She's like, let me get my shoe in the shot though.
remember the when those photographers would make girls lay on the train tracks?
What the fuck?
Remember back in
Yes.
I remember
No,
back
yes,
when
yes,
they used
yes,
to
yes.
yeah.
Old internet, yes.
Old internet, baby. I'm telling you, it's real.
Um, no, it's real. It's definitely real. That's funny as hell. But yeah, we wish her the best. But it looks like Bianca. Listen, Bianca ain't miss a step on Raw. She came back. She was like, "Listen, I'm back in beast mode." You know, they might have her defend the tag titles herself. No, I doubt it.
She fucking might. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I'm
They're gonna relinquish them. They're gonna be like, yeah, fuck that.
I mean, there's a really cool angle they could do if they could have Bailey take Jade's place and then do something funny like that, or have Naomi take her place.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Just slot another one of the big three in. Shit.
Let's see. What news do we have here? There's been new WWE ID folks, most notably Kylie Ray.
Mhm.
Um, she's been ID'd, whatever that means.
Identified. Nigga.
Identified. I mean, I think people are taking it as a threat more than it's like WWE ID is like they got a fucking another one. I swear to God. Um, you know, but that is what it is. Um, how do you feel about the on the timeline controversy
Oh,
with
brother.
the hurt business scrum question answer thing? How do you feel about that?
I and this is in reference to the question from I believe a Fightful reporter asked
Yeah,
Bobby about how does it feel to be in a place full of black champions, and he was just like, "I'm not black. I'm Bobby Lashley."
essentially.
Essentially, is what he said. I think I think that white journalists should leave a space open for black journalists to ask that question. I think it was a not a good question. I'll say that. I feel like it was extreme. Again, like you never want like these questions feel like gotchas so much where it's like, see, got him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like where it seemed like it was in retaliation to something that was said a month ago. And yes, these questions should be asked. We talked about this at length a month ago, right? It's like yes, they should be asked.
yeah.
But my view of it is that it it's not your place. Is that wrong to say?
No, it's not. I
it's
mean,
not
my thing is
your
that you wouldn't be able to answer a follow up if he then turned it back on you. So I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if it's
Like, how do you feel about the black champions? It's
yeah,
like, wait, what? Like,
and then
um
you're suddenly like kind of fucked.
I think that it's not her place. I think that the space is so small for content creators, journalists, and all of that within wrestling that y'all should leave some of those questions to just us. Like the people who asked about Tony Khan and his, when he said, we got the best black wrestler, that cap he said, like
Yeah,
that was a black person that asked him that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's no pushback on that because that was a black person asking him that. You know what I'm saying? But like I've it you never want your questions to feel like they're like gotchas. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in so many ways, like, and again, I'm you as well. We are both journalists. I was a journalist at one point. I've talked to some of the biggest artists in the world, right?
hmm,
But I would never. I know my place as a journalist to not what not to ask. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like if I'm talking to somebody and they're of a specific race and then there's something going on there, it's like yes, as a minority, I can ask that. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do that, but like I just feel like that was overreaching, and I think that the response to that, like I think on both sides was kind of crazy and silly. Like I did drop in on some of that. I seen you talk about it as well on Twitter, but I think that here's the thing: don't bully the girl. That's number one. Like that's
yeah.
never fine. Education is not Twitter's strong suit, Meal. So that they were never
No,
going to do that.
it's not. No, they were going. They were like, hold their legs.
Yeah, exactly.
We are jumping her.
And I think it's tough. Again, it's very very tough to kind of parse through these types of things on social media on a social media site. So like if she had to leave the site to get her ones and get her mental, that's fine. But at the same time, on the other end, don't act like she couldn't learn from this in some way, shape, or form. Because Bobby definitely sunned her. Like he sunned the shit out of her, bro. And there was definitely something for her to learn here. And I think that like that should not be that shouldn't be kind of turned down. You know what I mean? I think that there was something to be had that she had to learn. And I don't know, man. I think it's just so icky to again frame that question that way to Bobby Lashley, not and then him throwing that question back. Like no one's really throwing any heat on him for giving the
Yeah.
black version of Triple H's answer.
Yeah, essentially. Not
Like saying
not
like,
enough
"I
people
don't
for
wanna
being
just be I don't wanna," and I saw somebody in your comments be like, "Oh, well, he wants to make it normal," and so I'm just like, "No, it's not normal." You know what I mean? Like,
No.
it's not normal yet.
I was
And I
like,
think
"What?" My thing was I initially wanted to responded like, "We don't live in 2 different universes where one answer is accepted and one like isn't when they give the exact same answer for optics." Like we don't live in necessarily 2 different universes, but I do think that he could have answered that way better. And yeah, no one's giving him heat on that. And it's not about necessarily like he's like we've essentially is like, yo, we've deaded that. Like black champions are like, we don't do that, and da, da, da. But it's like, y'all it's still a minority in the industry. Like it's still a thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's still opportunities that aren't had, and there's still people who while there's been a lot more of an uptick, in the last number of years, we're still a major minority, and there's still a lot of hurdles that we have to kind of get past,
yeah,
especially in AEW land.
also, the way Bobby answered it, he like, Bobby as the elder statesman in that locker room, he is probably possibly the oldest person in that locker room, him and MVP. More than likely, the oldest people there, not counting like, I'm talking active talent, right?
Mm,
With Jericho's fat ass.
and
You
Edge
ushered in he really ushered in this era of black champions in the 2020s himself.
sure
So
did.
for him to say that is crazy, but for him to not only not acknowledge that it was Kofi, it was it was him, Carmelo Hayes, Ricochet's had a title within these last 4 or 5 years. Like all of these people have done these things. He should have been like, yes, I don't want to think of it as a company to company thing. I want all of my black wrestlers to win championships, and I would like to think that I was the one who started this thing. I would have been like, bravo, because you did. But instead, we saw the all lives matter shit where it's like, oh, why we gotta be black? But I'm like, it gotta be black champions because it is. It just is. I had the same conversation with Moose in the DMs a year ago. It just is. There aren't people that see that on TV and not think that it isn't an opportunity. A black kid is not seeing a black champion on TV and saying, now that's a champ.
Yeah.
No, they're saying that's me on that screen. That's why that interviewer should have stayed out of it, because when she looks at that, she says, there goes my black champion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. And again,
No,
probably
absolutely.
you'll probably be getting argued with. I'll probably get argued with about, about you can't diminish my experience. I'm like, bro, you can't argue with a black person about theirs. It just is what it is, man. It just should sloppy all around. I think that the conversation around race in wrestling is not handled correctly by a lot of people, and I think that it's a very emotional topic, and I don't think that everyone does it in the best faith, and that's why I'll let that lay for this week.
Absolutely. Let's head into the show that happened over the weekend, AEW Full Gear. I think
Ugh.
we'll handle the few talking points of it. I'm sure they'll get into it
I
match by
watched
match.
I watched the whole thing except for the Takeshita match, and I heard it was boring anyway. I ate dinner during
You
it.
son of a bitch. Let's see. Listen, man. The Big Boom, the Big Justice. I have no idea who these people are. Um, Big
Big
Boom
AJ,
AJ
AJ,
defeated QT Marshall.
it looked solid. It looked fun. It looked like a fun match. It looked like more like it was odd seeing that match and be like, this is like a WWE match. But then it was also like very enjoyable because it played to that cadence. I mean, I thought QT handled it the best he could. I think he's probably the best person to do that with.
I feel like he low key wanted to be in WWE, like QT, like not even low key, like high key. I feel like he left AEW because there would be a possibility, an opportunity for him to be in WWE, but I feel like WWE didn't kind of respond in a fashion that would be as favorable as he would have a position in AEW, so he just didn't. But to by all rights and
Imagine,
things, this
imagine
was
he
great.
walks up. Imagine he walks up and says, "Tony pays me $3 million a year. What say you?" They probably laughed him out the building, bro. Bro, he said,
Be like, "Is there an 8 in your year, bro date of birth?" Like,
Fuck
nigga,
out of
what?
here, bruh. You see
That's
Carmelo
n
all over that box on SmackDown, nigga? That's who we paying.
They didn't have to put that box there.
Woo woo, the Carmelo.
Jesus Christ. No, it looks like a fun match, man. Like, it was. I watched it. So it definitely was a fun match. It got the most apparently from the people that are there, it got the second highest crowd reaction of the show behind whatever Will Ospreay did. Um and speaking of what Will Ospreay did, he lost to Kyle Fletcher, which was the one thing that we
Said that he should not be doing is losing a lot.
and
Losing a
here he
lot.
is.
They probably pay Will Ospreay so much money, Meals, and had so like I know I say this a lot, but like his parallel to me in that company was like a Cody like babyface character, right? Because people
Absolutely.
actually respond to him and they let he's one of the only people in the whole company that they chant his song. He has like little abridged versions of his songs and bridges in his songs that people love. They love this guy. I know that him losing does not hurt him very much in the fans' eyes, but I think that having him lose matches to people that he probably like should be beating more often than not, and that probably helps them by losing to him. Like he should not be losing to like he shouldn't have lost to Swerve. I think he shouldn't have lost to
Mhm.
Kyle Fletcher. I think there were just so many whiffs that I thought like we all thought it was going to be all in or whatever the fuck it was, all out in whatever, where he should have won the title. I thought you just give that to him. He's already been in the company for a year. So like just give him the title, and let him run with it. Now he's doing side quests and getting titles. He literally said the other week on TV, I don't really care about the fucking what title did he lose? The international. He's like, I don't really care about. I don't want it right now.
Yeah,
Huh?
essentially. Just
What?
as yeah, I mean, at this point, um, I feel like the Kyle Fletcher thing, unless they actually anticipate developing him, I don't see why they did this. And their track record is not very good at this kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, where does Fletcher go? Because Fletcher beat a world heavyweight championship level opponent, right, Mill? So does that mean he goes right to Moxley? No. Does that mean he goes to Takeshita? Well, they're in the same stable. Well, so he's just gonna stay where he's at, right? Like that's it for him. Where how do you go with him? Who does he go against? It's like this bit like once you beat that's like again, Carmelo coming in first month, beating Cody, and then all right, where he needs a title next then, right? Like that's what happens, and that's not what's gonna happen. Like I just like you said, I don't have any faith in their development of what's gonna happen next.
It's crazy.
It's truly kind of insane. Like I really the match was cool. It was good. I think a lot of matches on this were good. This was the longest the Osprey Fletcher match was the longest match on the show, by the way. But um everything on the show was just cool. Nothing was like actively terrible except for the main event, which I think me and you will probably heavily disagree with. But if I had to have a second worst match on here, it was probably the Bobby Lashley and Swerve match.
Yeah, I didn't really get the point of that match.
It was so dumb. It was
And the
this
placement of it didn't favor really anybody on the card. They have this weird like sequencing of shows where you don't realize that people have been sitting here for 4 hours watching the show and don't really like at some point after to catch the Ricochet match, I was like, oh shit, yeah, they do have this match. I forgot. And that
and
happens
people
quite frequently on AEW pay-per-views, to be honest with you.
and people were tired. They were just fucking tired at that point. Like you could hear it. Like they were exhausted by that point in the show. And listen, my issues with this match are like tenfold. All right. For one, Shivani or Excalibur said this is Bobby Lashley's debut. I'm like, bro, y'all called his match on Wednesday. He just had one. Like it's not his debut.
You beat up hamburger
He beat
or
up
cheeseburger.
called him
Cheeseburger, I'm
a
sorry.
hamburger. You can't even give my nigga some cheese.
Shout out to cheeseburger.
So that happens, but he also has like a mildly competitive match with these two guys, which like would have never happened on WWE television. But okay, cool. And then you
Vince
have
would have told
Swerve.
him put one arm in the hurt lock on one of them and then another arm
Exactly.
over.
He would have had one. He would have did a double hurt lock on them niggas. He would have fucking had them both in a move. So Here's my issues with these matches. This is match Meelz. Swerve at this point has been getting his ass whooped, walloped by him every single fucking time they cross. He finally gets the one up on him with a weapon, with a chain, I believe, on Dynamite the week ago, right? So
Yes.
leading into this match, I'm thinking it would be very effective if Swerve misrepresent or like misjudge this guy and he gets squashed. I think that it would help push that these guys are the monsters that they're pushing them as. And this is Bobby Lashley. This is kind of like AEW's first Brock Lesnar level talent. So why is Moxley beating Orange Cassidy's ass for nearly 20 minutes and Bobby Lashley is on the ground selling for Swerve and they're going 50-50 for 15? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like he's spearing him through barricades. Swerve's getting off all these moves. He's kicking out of all of them. I'm like, Swerve didn't need to get all that offense in on him for us to understand the fact that he's a like everyone knows he's a strong babyface champion. Everybody
Yeah.
knows. Everyone we get that idea, but I think that people need to start looking at the Brock Cena um match like that match is SummerSlam is how you build a monster, but also how you build sympathy for a babyface. Because I'm gonna be real, people still kind of fuck with Lashley a little bit more than they fuck with Swerve on the show because he does cool shit and he looks cool. When he did that suplex, for one, Bobby needs to stop doing that shit. You
Yeah,
guys just need to be
Bobby prioritizes Bobby though. Like
yeah.
Bobby is like I do what Bobby does. Like cuz he's been in the game for so long, I think he knows what works, but I think he knows what works to get cheered
But
more
also
than
like, but also like, we're already starting off Bobby's run with him needing help from everybody else on the outside. We're starting our run like that against Swerve. Everybody in the Hurt business or whatever the fuck they're called, Hurt Syndicate, are bigger than Swerve. Why does he need any help? It's fucking ridiculous. And then Meelz, then with all these things, he speared him through a barricade, speared him regularly, did all these things, took the fucking house call. All it takes is 2 seconds in the Hurt Lock, and he's like, and he's fucking out. It's ridiculous. The match sucked. It was fucking ridiculous. I don't know who produced that, but I think it looked bad on both guys. I think it shit on both guys. Not gonna lie.
No, I
Like
agree.
it looked terrible. It should have like, and the thing is, people are gonna say, "Well, a squash would have looked worse." No, it wouldn't have. He has never had the upper hand unless he had a weapon. This is how you build a second match. Like, oh man, I don't know. These guys don't know what they're talking about. You want to know what match had no fucking reaction and no one gave a fuck about? And I would be very concerned about these two guys going
Talk
forward.
about it.
Daniel Garcia and Jack Perry. No one gave a shit. And they had nearly 20 minutes to make people do so. Nobody gave a fuck about this match.
That's so I mean, yeah, they did some questionable shit in the build up anyway.
Yeah.
And the entire this might be Jack Perry pulling up.
This
Um
motherfucker, Daniel Garcia, had a Mary J. Blige, My Life, fucking runaway love ass video to begin. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, he looks like a fucking bitch on the show. Like, what is all this? Are they trying to like make him Drake? Like a wrestling
they're
Drake?
I don't know, but he won, so I guess he got what he came for or what he got paid to do. Like
That's crazy. Because
it just
I can tell you one thing: the NXT North American Championship is probably way more way more revered than the fucking TNT Championship at this point.
not really, but seriously though, like he talks about the lit. Well, I'm not even going to talk about it. Match was thing. Mercedes Moné probably had her best match in AEW. Um, albeit I think still a little sketchy in parts, especially at the end. The end was the sketchiest part. Um, but
No, because we disagreed. We disagreed very heavily on this match too.
I thought it was like it's the one that made the most sense for me, and I felt like it was someone to me. I thought she got way too much offense on this big girl.
hmm
I
hmm
thought she got way, 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 way. It almost made Chris look like she ain't prepared for this match at all.
But it
Like,
also but also kills Chris because like it kills Chris and Willow because it's the same shit she did to Willow last summer. So like you have her look so fucking strong. My issue with this match, Mills, as I said, it was the kickouts. It was the constant kickouts of everything. And I see your point. Like, yeah, it wasn't their big move, right? But then she hit her big move, and she kicked out anyway. And I was like, there. I feel like with the women's matches, they feel as though because this happens in Tony Storm matches too, Meals. There's like all these constant kickouts, and then Tony Storm will do like one move that doesn't even look like it. Like remember when she did the power driver on the apron, did it in the ring, and then what's her name still kicked out. Like I feel like they think that women's matches are good when there's a lot of kickouts, and then they did that with this, and I was like, Mercedes is just going to counter this, and she's going to kick out. I'll tell you, like the drama felt palpable. Like it felt good toward the end because you actually felt like Chris was gonna win. But then it ended like with a wet fart of a finish where it just made Chris look stupid.
I mean, yeah, the ending was to me was the wet fart of it all, but I didn't mind the match. This is typically, I think, most Mercedes match against bigger opponents, but then I also felt like this was the most like sensible match that she's had as well. If that means anything, but I just think she just got for looking at both of their sizes and looking how little offense Chris actually got in, it made her look like grossly like not really in the same stratosphere as Mercedes, which she should be at this point. And I think I don't know, Chris needs I don't know when her contract coming up, but I hope she don't resign. But
You had MJF coming in, doing his job and leaving. This guy, Hogan level, Hogan level talent in this company. He'll beat you and then he'll disappear for a couple weeks.
that's hilarious. Main event thoughts.
It was by far one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was terrible. He looked like he was beating up a child, Meals. He looked like he was beating up a kid. I don't know if the black pants really work for Orange Cassidy because it just looked like he's wearing pajamas and he's getting his ass whipped. Like I don't know. Like I think that the reason this match didn't work for me was because it is all of the worst things about John Moxley. The fighting on the outside, the fucking weird ass no selling that he does. The first time he probably sold anything in this match was like the last 2 minutes of the match when he was doing the orange punch, the crush punch or whatever the hell it is. He sold absolutely nothing this whole fucking match. And if we saw a guy fucking get power driven on the steps. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like we saw a lot of niggas do a lot of things and kick out of a lot of shit. Mox didn't sell nothing in this match, bruh. He was working like Bobby Lashley should have been working against Swerve. Like this did this feel competitive to you at all? Like it didn't feel competitive to me whatsoever.
I got the story of it, but I just don't think Orange Cassidy was the right person to be cast in this story. I don't think because to me, I don't think anyone really bought it at any point during all of this. And I think he just he's a I thought he's a capable competitor, and I think both of these guys are to an extent, but I don't know what we got out of this match at the end of the day. Like I don't know what this match really kind of like accomplished moving forward. It was Moxley's first defense, but I don't really like feel like he's a real like a champion or something really to overcome.
He don't even
Um
be having the belt. That belt
yeah,
don't fit in that little thing, bruh.
no, I don't. It don't. But Orange Cassidy, I think he's a capable opponent nonetheless in not capable like in terms of like star power, but like in the ring he can go. And I think they had a good match. But ultimately I don't feel like this was the right casting decision for this match anyway. So they
And
have this go
then
ahead.
they did then cue the Benny Hill music at the end
Yeah, the
when
schmaz.
it was that was more than that's a schmoz in all capital letters because I had no clue what the fuck they was leading to there. You had Adam Page come out, and then Christian, and then fucking uh, Darby, and then all these people coming out, and I was like,
Jack Jay White.
Jay
Jay White.
White comes out, and all of this silliness. What the fuck is what was that? That was like when they that you want to talk about the 24/7 segments in WWE. That was what that was. 24/7 segment. Why did Darby have to drive that car himself?
I don't know, bro. That seems so and then why is he in the Continental Classic tournament? Like that's the part that really like bugs me is like they want to have storytelling. They're begging people like, "Oh my god, we do tell stories. Shut the fuck up." And then you have Darby in the kind of like have him face the champion. Like, I don't know. To me, this entire thing doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't.
No, not at all. That was pay per view. AEW circle in the drain. Circle in the drain. That's all I'll say. This is probably one of the worst pay per views that I've seen them do. It's pretty
I
bad.
think it's been like, yeah, it's because it's middle of the road. It isn't anything that really like truly stood out of this card. Like I can look back at, I'll in 2025, I'll look back at what they did in 2024. I'm like, oh yeah, they did that. Oh shit, Big Boom was on it. What's he doing now? Um, all this other stuff.
This weekend, WWE live from Vancouver, British Columbia, at Rogers Arena, Survivor Series War Games 2024. A show that on the outset, maybe a month ago, we're like, eh. But now it's like, feels like a pretty big show, and I'm really excited for it. So here we are.
You're here. Is there anything on the weekly shows that we need to talk
I
about?
imagine, I mean, we'll talk about
Well,
the
the
Bloodline
punk
stuff.
moment.
Yeah, the Bloodline stuff, but not in the weekly show. No, not well, Kofi and Xavier Woods being at odds leading into this huge anniversary show, for the New Day, uh, which should be fun. I mean, I think it'll be a really cool show, and I think it'll be a good show because there are a lot there. It allows them to dedicate the 2 hours to something, and then it'll take it'll take the gas off of everything else that they're working on, and I think that'd be pretty cool for everybody involved, honestly.
I like that this it's getting and it's been building up to this really intense moment here, and we're building up. It's kind of weird. It's like, yeah, you're having the New Day celebration moment, but they're not on good terms. So how will this all turn out? Like that's how you make compelling television,
Yeah,
where you make people want to tune in to kind of like see what's happening. I can't say the rest for the other company, but they haven't even come close to literally what the New Day is doing, even with their top program. It don't even
and
make sense like this.
this is another one about friends, which is what AEW loves to do. Have storylines about friends, and
Yeah.
I was incredibly impressed by the promo they cut and the way that it was staged on Monday. The way that it went from the back from the ring to the back. Let me tell you, like, you want to talk about wrestlers being, and this is also to the Bloodlines, stuff too, because we've been seeing it more with them. But you want to talk about how professional these guys are on in the ring and out of the ring, and getting their characters over. Woods and Kofi cut that promo from the fucking eight from the ramp, Meelz, all the way to the back, and it was like no cuts or anything, and they fucking killed it. Like, it was amazing. They even got all of the timing right, all of that stuff after a match. Um, I thought it was phenomenal. It was the best thing on the show on Monday to me.
No, for sure. It's a so many different things. Like it was just great. I liked it. I liked
Yes.
everything that they kind of introduced. Well, before that, because it's not happening a Survivor Series. What did you also think about the Cody Rhodes Kevin Owens segment on SmackDown? Because I thought that was like
Phenomenal. I thought both shows were good this week. Just a full disclosure, but like I thought that segment with
SmackDown was, oof, but SmackDown was
SmackDown
good
was
though.
SmackDown was great. Yes, it was SmackDown was great. Raw was good. Like that segment between KO and Cody, the people will talk shit, but like the balance that they've had to have with having a Cody and a Roman on the same time. I'm sure this will flip back to Cody when Roman goes on his break after this shit's over. But I think that they've been doing a good job of keeping him intertwined into this as well. Um, I love this promo. I loved everything about it because it got to the points that everyone has been saying for months. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is the reason why this is happening. This is the reason why Cody, you're having issues and your friends are becoming your ops because every time you get involved with this, they get hurt. And I think that that's a really I just love just the simple stuff. Mills like KO bringing up Mania 39. You know what I mean? Like these are moments that they've legitimately shared, and it's a difference between how Kofi and Woods are handling it and how Kevin Owens is handling it, right? Like that's why this works on a lot of levels for me.
It to me, usually you kind of need that segment to kind of like bring it all together and make it make sense. And even with the altercation that happened at Bad Blood, we really haven't had the face off. I mean, it's kind of been Kevin Owens kind of involved with Randy, Cody trying to get involved, but not really they didn't really have the space to kind of like talk and really breathe fresh air into the storyline. And I think that's what this segment did. And it exposed a lot of things that are wrong with Cody and exposed a lot of things that are wrong with KO. And I think neither man, I mean, when you're slinging the mud, I think neither man looks good coming out of this. But at some point, um, we're going to get the battle of them together. And it was announced over the weekend that it's going to happen at Saturday night's main event, which is cool, you know, because I feel like it leaves the floor open for Gunther versus Damian Priest at Survivor Series, which is awesome. But then this is a must see main event for the show that is going to happen in about a couple weeks' time. So that was amazing.
A week or is it a week after?
Yeah, it's the week after.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
next.
week after deadline, actually, I think.
Yeah, it's
So this weekend we got Survivor Series. I think next week is Deadline, and then the following week is Saturday night's main event,
and then they're on break, and
and then
then
they're on break. Yeah, then
then
we have to stop caring. Yeah,
we gotta do like a eulogy for Raw and USA because it's been a very long time since it's not been on there since
it's
2005.
been essentially yeah. We
2005
can
is a long. It's been 20 years they've been on there.
yeah. Well,
I think.
if you try not to count Spike TV,
Well,
which
no, I
was
mean
only like
they came
low
back
key,
in
it
the
was like yeah, but low key, it was on Spike TV for like how long? Like 5 years, 4 years.
or it
Like
was
I
like
don't
4, but this stretch from '05 to 25 is like the longest they've ever done. So
right.
just this era. I mean, we could talk about the '90s too, but just this era is crazy because we may never see Raw on like traditional network ever again. You know what I mean? Like that's insane to even say, but it's kind of crazy. But Survivor Series, some matches got added. I'm glad it's 5 match show, Triple H special. You already know. First matchup, LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. This came together quick. I was like, bro, he didn't even do no number one contendership shit. He just said, I want the match.
You're like
Give it up.
Shinsuke, what you doing?
Yeah, give it up, nigga.
Yeah. Like, what
I
are you doing?
I think it would be incredibly stupid to have Shinsuke win here, but I mean to have him lose here, but I think that's what's gonna happen. Um, I just thought because my thing is Mills like if LA Knight loses the championship, then what? You know what I mean? Like he has to give
Yeah,
it to like some.
I don't think we even have the story trajectory for Nakamura win. Because he literally just showed up and has just jumped him twice. Like,
I'm gonna be controversial here and say that there's gonna be a fuck finish, or he's gonna do something silly, like he's gonna spit in his face or do something that'll get himself disqualified. I don't think it's gonna have a finish.
I think considering this is kind of like I'm assuming this is like the added story of whatever Nakamura was doing last year. I'm assuming he's going to try to legitimately hurt LA Knight. Uh But I do think LA Knight escapes with the victory. I think they're all in on LA Knight right now, and I don't think there have been a conquerable heel on SmackDown that really comes into face. Because you saw what he did to like Santos Escobar. He beat Santos Escobar, and the nigga walked off like it was WWF Zone. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know. Santos just left the ring. I was like, damn, you don't want to help him jump the nigga? Like
Just disappeared into the crowd, and just it was just bad graphics and shit.
Santos need a
Um,
repackage, just like Blair Davenport do. I think that again, from where he was a year ago to now, I'm just like, I think that they need to change some things up with him because he was a
well,
lot.
I don't think they had a plan for him outside of the Ray shit. To be real with you. Like, I low key don't think they had like any, and my guess is like they hope that the Ray shit would work and be able to spin off into something else, but it really just hasn't. So yeah, it you kind of probably do need a repackage at some point.
Yeah, he needs to lose those losers. He's hanging around a lot of losers.
I
He
agree.
needs to be on his own.
I agree.
I think he'll. I mean, not to say anything about the guy's character outside of the ring, but I think that the Alberto Del Rio kind of like feel would probably work way better for him than what he's doing now. Like just do something.
I don't know. Maybe he joins forces with Andrade. Maybe. Oh, there's my door. Maybe he joins
DoorDash.
forces with, or I hope not.
All right. Next match, which got announced. Oh wait a minute. You think LA is winning?
Yes, I do for sure.
I think it's no contest. Next match: Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. This is again another match that's kind of been building for the past 2 weeks. I mean, Braun legitimately just got back on TV like 2 weeks ago, so this is coming together pretty fast. Again, these are some heavy hitters, and I have no doubt that this match will be very good. But do
I
you
mean,
think that?
I feel like it's an undercard that delivers.
Oh,
Like, I
for sure.
think that's definitely what I think, because you look at Survivor Series last year, it's a similar thing. I think they had, Rhea versus Zoe Stark
Hmm.
and, some other random shit. I remember one year they had Ronda versus Shotzi. I don't think they care too much about the undercard because they know that the War Games match is selling it.
Yeah.
So they're Gunther versus Miz last year, Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And I mean, and to be fair, this has a bigger undercard just in general because of the Gunther stuff here.
Yeah,
Um,
well, yes.
it's a bigger deal, but yeah, you're right. It's gonna work. I think honestly, man, Saturday night's main event, Breaker versus Sheamus, I think is a lock to me.
I kind of want to see Sheamus win, but I know we just took the title off of Braun. So
And he's done nothing with it since.
yeah, because I don't think they know what they really want to do. I don't think they have a full direction of what they want to do,
Um,
nor do they have a strong group of opponents for him currently.
be clear, come clean here. When Bronson is done with this bullshit with the bloodline, I
Yeah,
think I think you got him right there with Braun. That's a match that's big time and gets
right.
Braun the babyface reaction that they've been waiting to give him right now.
Yeah.
Like that's
No,
what I want to see. I don't see Sheamus winning the IC title, Lord, until he's about to retire. I think that's
damn, it's
really
got to be
cool.
that. You got to be on
Yeah,
his Rick Ross shit.
yeah, yeah. He is Sheamus is Rick Ross. He is Rick Ross. He is Rick
Oh
Ross.
my god.
Ludwig, you're here to take the pin. So yeah, have fun. You'll do great though.
He's been doing
Um,
good. Ludwig been doing good, man.
yes.
And I think they definitely want to reward, because the fact Gunther and Ludwig are having two different singles matches on this card to me speaks
Big,
something.
yeah, it's a big deal. And again, Ludwig sliding into the role that I feel as though people like a Ricochet or Ilya would have been filling in this role anyway in the mid card, just to kind of get him out there and he's been
Yeah,
doing great.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Boy, Gunther been getting his ass tossed.
Yeah, he been
Loki, pause, but for like 4 weeks.
What's going on with this nigga, man?
It
He's
was
not
up with this
himself.
I literally I was 8 minutes in late to Raw, because I was watching someone else and watching something else and forgot Raw was on. I turned it on. This nigga's getting thrown through a table.
I was like, God damn.
I was like,
Hey.
bro, you picked up the wrong, like it's the wrong, you were in the wrong neighborhood or something, nigga.
But
Like,
man, bro, Damian Priest is so over.
bro, as he should be. I think he's the priority. Even if Gunther wins this match, I think Priest is the priority at some point. Like low
Yeah,
key, it might be Priest going into Mania as champion. I'm not sure. I could be wrong though.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know. I think we're getting
but
what we said
he's gonna have
before.
a big program though. Like
Oh,
Damien,
for sure.
he cares about Damian Priest.
Yeah. That's his taker adjacent.
Yeah,
Hopefully with better political views. But
you know how you get
yeah,
down.
yeah, so seeing yeah, Anyway, uh the first match was great. This match should be just as great. I think what will take Damian away from this venture, this excursion, is the fact that I do think Finn is still looming. And I
I
do
don't know
think that
why. Like,
that'll play it. I think that's going to play a factor. I don't know why they retained the tag titles on Monday. That really perplexed me. I had
yeah, that was. I don't know. I don't get it either. But then also, yeah, no, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not even gonna try to like rationalize it. I don't get
yeah,
it at all.
yeah.
Um, it's a, it's, it's a definitely perplexing decision. But I mean, Finn has to get a world title shot at some point, right? Like, what's this entire year been of him hating on niggas getting world title shots if he doesn't get one himself and then gets completely blasted in the chest?
That whoa, you're on a roll here.
I'm damn,
Um,
I'm bugging the fuck out, bro.
you're on a roll. I think that's been the issue with this title since the beginning, though, Meelz, is that because Roman had that title for so long, they introduced that title last year. It's been a logjam of people who have deserved the World Heavyweight Championship since
Oh
last
yeah,
year. It's been a
this nigga
logjam.
since 2020, bro.
Yeah, and they've only been able to get to 3 of those people thus far in Damian, Seth, and,
And
Gunther.
Cody jumped the line, nigga. Cody.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has been again a logjam, and I don't envy how they're gonna get this title onto all these people in the next
Mm.
couple of years. But I do think that there is a role for Drew to get it at one point when he comes back.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
that's Drew. I forgot Drew.
I would pencil in Drew and Damian to be the match at Mania if I had to pick something right now,
I
for
mean,
sure.
that's definitely a match for sure. Two people you
Um,
want to continue to, promote, put over, all
yeah.
this stuff like that. Yeah, no, I could see it.
I could see I can see a lot of these types of people getting the title, even if it's just like a cup of coffee. They're gonna get it at some point. Sammy,
Yeah,
another person who needs to get this title at some point. Like I don't
this
know
is
how they're gonna.
true.
I
Maybe
don't
even a
know
Jey Uso. Maybe even a Jey Uso.
exactly. I don't know how all these people are gonna get onto this championship. But again, like I said, that's up to them to figure out. But for right now, it's looking like Gunther's gonna have it at least in the short term. And I mean extremely short term because we know Punk wants that title. He's already called him out. We know that Seth and Punk looks to be the direction.
Yeah,
And we'll talk about that in the War Games match. But like, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to come up for Gunther in the next couple of weeks. And I'm wondering, Meals, if he becomes a face, does he stay heel? Well, like, what does this come? What comes out of this? Because I do think he's winning. I do think it's going to be Damian and Finn at Saturday night's main event. But what comes to Gunther from that? I don't know if he's going to defend on that show, but what is he going to do?
I think so. I think Gunther retains on this, but I think he retains off some bullshit. Um, Not like an interference or something, but more so like he like collapses on him and just manages to get the pin or something along those lines, because the way they've been building him up over the weeks, it looks like they really do want to make Damian Priest look strong as hell. um I'm not sure what this the future leaves for Gunther after this. The reality says he takes off the rest of December,
Yes, I
because
I
he's
I,
they
I
can go
think
home.
I think it ends up being Punk and Gunther a Royal Rumble.
I think so. I think that's definitely a
Right.
possibility,
Mhm.
because could you have Punk win the Rumble?
Nah, I don't think you have Punk win the Rumble. Like who like realistically right now, who is your dark horse Rumble winner? It's got to be somebody from Raw. I think it's gonna or it's not, it doesn't have
Mine
to.
was Punk. Mine was Punk, to be honest with you,
I don't think it's gonna be Punk.
because I think it's the one thing that's eluded Punk. I think it cements that fact that he's going to main event WrestleMania, and which is what I think he came back for. I mean, not that he came back for it specifically, but I think that's part of the plan. Is like, let's do him right and get him to the main event of WrestleMania. He's one of the biggest draws that's ever existed in wrestling.
So
Like, I think that's
would you do Seth beating Gunther at Mania or Rumble?
I would do Seth. Then yeah, I would do Seth and Gunther there. Um, because I think, I mean, it sets itself up perfectly for that.
Mhm.
And then you try to figure out who's going to be Cody's opponent in Elimination Chamber. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the world title is strange. It's a strange little thing.
Yeah. I
It
almost
just is.
I almost want to say that I feel like Seth and Punk don't need the belt at main event, but I mean,
I think they kind of do. I don't know. Like, they
because then
don't, but they do.
remember too, Mills, Cena's gonna be there too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Like
saying. Like,
there's
you
so
kind of
many,
do.
there's so many, variables to, especially on Raw. I think with Cody, I'm gonna just put my hat in and say I think it's Randy. Like I think that's where
I
they
think
go.
it's Cody and Randy. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's Cody and Randy. I would love
I
to. I
don't
know
think
you're a
Randy
little.
wins the Rumble. I don't think Randy wins the
Nah,
Rumble though. No.
I would love. I know you're really bullish on this, but I would really love for Cody to chase up to that point and chase KO, lose the KO, then chase all the way up to March or whatever, February, and then do it. But like again,
I'm not
I don't.
against it. I just can't see it happening.
Mhm.
I just can't. Um, Not with the run that Cody's had, not with how they've essentially spent the entire WWE is not that not the company anymore to put out these hints and then completely ignore the fuck out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because Randy's been looking at that championship caught in a trance for about 6 months now. Longer than that. Oh my god, probably since he returned last January.
Yeah, it was when he first like was fucking with
And then
Cody.
when Cody won the title, he's been looking at this shit ever since. So I don't think that's something to ignore. Um, the worst I the only thing I can see different is a triple threat match. That's the only thing I can see happening in WrestleMania. It becomes
Mhm.
Cody, Randy, KO. Um, which I wouldn't disagree with.
And that'd be a crazy one because that's 3 WrestleMania main eventers
Yeah,
in one match. That's
yeah,
kinda crazy.
essentially, right?
It's kinda crazy. Um, damn, we didn't even talk about Gunther and Damian Priest. I listen, Triple H booking
Gunther's gonna
committee
win. Yeah, he's gonna
he's
retain.
gonna win. I I leave it to you guys. I leave it to you guys to figure out where the title goes next. I'm here for the ride. Let's get to the War Games matches. Let's do the women first. Um, well, let's just be clear here. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys even saw the spoilers or whatever. You can kind of read the tea leaves here.
I haven't seen the spoilers, but yes, I know I'm aware Bailey's pretty much
Bailey's
in it.
yeah, Bailey's the
But
fifth
I
person.
I didn't want to be spoiled. I was spoiled beyond my fucking thing. Low key, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't want to be spoiled on tape shows because I would not watch these shows if I saw them.
Uh,
If I read them.
SmackDown should be good this week, so I think you'll be
Oh,
very
you
happy.
read them.
I read the SmackDown ones. Yeah, you'll be very
Alright.
happy with. But there's stuff that we haven't seen, so
Okay.
I
A
think that
taped
like
go home show is kind of nuts.
well, when it's one like this, I think you'll be good. I
Okay.
think like, when it's one like this, I think it reads very well.
Okay. Okay.
I
For
can't really
sure.
say
For
that.
sure. All right. All
So,
right.
Rhea
I'm
Ripley,
tapped in.
Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bailey versus the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. Nia, Tiffany, and Candice need they need a name, and it should be TNC,
TNT.
like TLC, but TNC.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck is going on here? No, I mean, for sure. I like this match. It came together. We were kind of like, how the fuck is this gonna come together? We were a month ago. We were like, all right, so which brand is gonna have the War Games match?
Yeah, and I was like, it's feeling like it's gonna be dual branded.
SmackDown. I
Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was gonna be SmackDown. I mean, they've done a great job because I think they've incorporated Crown Jewel and kind of how they handled that into the build for this War Games match. So that's how you got the interpromotional activity kind of going on, which once again, this is like great storytelling building to this moment because they used that to end up getting here. So it wasn't like a very, you know how they used to do Survivor Series matches back in the day. They used to just announce five niggas against
yeah,
other five niggas in the match, and it was just like Raw,
exactly.
SmackDown, ECW. You know, you get DX and the Hardy Boys and Punk versus Mike Knox and John Morrison, The Miz, and whatever the fuck they had. So, um, I would say they did a good job at building this seemingly out of nowhere. Um, the Jade part kind of hurts. I would have
Yeah, it
loved to see
sucks.
Jade in War Games. I
Yeah, it really
think
sucks.
I could already see her doing the stinger splashes in the corner and kind of like everything there. So I could have saw that. I'm sure she had a nice fit. Um, but I don't know who's gonna. The faces usually win this shit, so I don't really even.
Nah, 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 nah. I
The
don't see.
heels haven't won. Has the heel won a women's War Games match?
Let's go to last year's. What was last year's? With the one with
Last year
Becky,
was the one
Becky
with Becky,
Stratton.
so Becky won.
The heels, the faces won both of them last year, huh?
Yeah, and I think the faces won the one versus Damage Control too.
I don't
Bianca Belair,
see.
Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky. Damn, Becky was a surprise both years. Goddamn, bitch. Um,
I don't see.
they had a 4-on-4 last year, and we're here getting the wedged 5-on-5. All right, whatever.
I think there's a little bit more story implications to it being 5v5, just with
I mean,
all.
Bronson Reed is cool. I like Bronson Reed.
Yeah, like just with all the star power here. I think in terms of the women, um, I actually think the heels are going to win this. I think that you have to heighten the chase between now EO and Rhea. That's like that's a chase. Like EO is still no more contender here.
Right.
And Liv has been booked relatively strong, is to the detriment and begrudgingly to many people. But also I feel as though the heels on this team are like fairly pushed stronger than a lot of the people here on the babyface side, more so than any other year that they've done this. And you
Hmm.
also have to me, the Bailey factor here, where she was the MVP last year, but she was like uh MVP in a loss, right? But she can't be the MVP here. You know what I mean? Like Bailey, to me, a weak link storyline for her that leads to her being turning into a heel again seems like what they're trying to do. Like her trying to show her work
Yeah.
and not working.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm
Along with nobody trusting her. That's another part. Is that nobody like two of the people on the team don't trust her. So
I'm still not sure yet. I don't know. The face side is screaming. It's got Bianca on it. Like,
and
yeah.
she's been booked strongly going in so that if they lose, she doesn't look weak and she don't gotta take the pinfall. Bailey probably gonna take the pinfall.
You say that, but Bianca. Like, it's different.
That's fine. I'm just telling you my reasonings as to why I think the heels will win this. And I think it's because Liv has a program with two of these women coming out of it. And I think that like it would to me, when Liv loses, it has to be a big deal. So for her to have this run, this is and let's just be honest, this is her year. This is her year. So for her to win the first crown jewel championship, win the title, beat Rhea Ripley, win this, like that's a Hall of Fame year for her. And I think that for all intents and purposes, I support if they choose to go that way and have her team win this match as well. Just to set in stone, she is the top heel of this brand.
Mm, I don't know. I'm really confused on this one, but I feel you. I really do. I'm going to go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the faces. I'm just gonna trust my gut
Yeah,
and
go
go
ahead.
with the faces.
I often don't, but I think that it's something about this one. It just feels different. It feels different. And it's different from the men's. Like just go over to the men's side, right? They already took the L last month. Roman not losing twice. You know what I'm saying? He got to win and then go on break. Like that's what's happening here, right? And these guys are going to disband. My real question, Mills, is how do you integrate all these niggas back into the roster when they have not been in regular storylines with other people for the past month and a half?
Uh, I don't know. 1, 2, 3 break. Like
You
at
know?
this point, like
And also, is Jay going back with Jimmy? Like, where's Jimmy gonna go? Like, it's
Jimmy go
very
back to his damn show. Everybody leave us alone. The three niggas who go on one show is on one show, and then Roman and Jimmy gonna be on another show. I don't know
okay.
where Paul Heyman goes. Paul Heyman is clearly with CM Punk. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that segment on SmackDown.
Oh man, listen, they built it up throughout the night.
Yeah.
They said, "Should we ask Cody?" He said, "Nah, that's old news." I said, "Good point. Good point."
I don't
They
want no
go out.
trouble. I don't want no KO trouble. They get a
Well,
six
now
member and shit.
you want to talk about them black cement threes? That nigga Roman had the cement threes on, nigga. He had them shits brickly tied up, nigga. It looked like bricks on his feet. They go in. Really good promo from Solo.
Mm,
He's been on fire for the past month. He's been great.
I
Almost
agree.
makes me sad that this is probably going to end soon. Gives the mic to Roman.
He been on his Drewski shit, low key, and they should have Drewski do a just walk with Solo for a bit. They got the same mannerisms, low key.
When you think you're the tribal chief, for real, Solo really is like the forex nigga. He like when they
No,
walk in,
he
clap
is.
in.
No, he is, bro. Like I'm seeing it. Like once I see his mannerism, I'm like, yo, that's kind of Drewski esque, low
Yeah,
key.
he is the
Like,
forex nigga.
um,
He gives the mic to Roman.
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, crowd goes dummy.
But the best part is Roman seemingly didn't know that that was happening either. He was
Yeah,
just as shocked as everybody else.
yeah, love that, love that. Because remember, the phone with the voicemail
Mm.
for him. It cuts a short promo saying, "No, it's not going to be 4v5. It's going to be 5v5." CM Punk comes out, pop of a lifetime. We called this last week. We
Yeah,
did.
we did. We did. Shout out to us
I
because
said
we
it.
were like, this is looking fishy.
Yeah, I said if it was Seth, they would have announced it after the show. They did not. Um, Seth comes out, big brawl, stare down between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. First time this is happening in what, 10 years almost?
Nigga, since the nigga was a baby,
Yeah.
since he
First time
beat him
this,
3-on-1.
and to steal a quote from Tony Khan, justify this is awesome chance from the
What a
crowd in Salt Lake
loser.
City.
What a loser.
Justify this
Um,
is awesome chance. And the show goes to black. Now, the question is obviously the relationships here between Punk and Heyman, Punk and Roman, Roman and Heyman, Roman and Punk. We'll figure this out on Friday. There's a face to face. Obviously, we're recording this before SmackDown airs. We'll see what that promo comes out as. But a lot of people are noticing.
was it in the ring?
I'm not telling you anything.
All right, I'm just letting you know. I was just like, what? I'm like, how do people know this? I was like, is it in the ring? I thought,
Face
they
to
could have
face
done a
was
pre-tape. They
the
could have
face to
done
face
a
was announced on the show.
okay. All right, all right.
All
Could have been
right,
a pre-tape.
it was announced by Jimmy on the Raw Talk. All right, you don't watch Raw Talk?
Jimmy said, "Yo, I think Roman's go talk to CM Punk
Face to face.
face to face on SmackDown."
He
Um, uh,
this match is gonna be the crowd gonna be tired. All right, for by the end of the night from this match, it's gonna be so
yeah.
many fucking cool ass moments and
Who
callbacks.
who comes out last?
Oh, who do you think's winning between Jay and
I don't even want to know
Jacob?
because apparently it
Yeah,
happened already, and I don't care.
yeah.
Who who's coming out last? Is Punk or Roman? Is Punk or Roman gonna
uh,
be the last person to leave the cage?
who's the last person to leave the cage?
I guess it's Roman, huh?
It's gotta be Roman. Yeah, it's gotta be Roman. Here's no. Here's the thing. What if remember last year Roman was holding niggas back? Like, no, you go. What
You can't
if
do that. You can't do that shit this year. Niggas got
no? But I'm
autonomy and all
saying,
types of other shit.
what if Punk holds Roman back and says, "Nah, I'm gonna go," and or he holds Roman back and says, "Nah, I'm gonna go," or he holds Roman and tells Sammy to go. Like,
Right.
two alpha males are in this match, and it's Punk and it's Roman, and that's gonna be such a great interplay. And again, they're giving you breadcrumbs, and I hope they give more breadcrumbs to them eventually having a match because that's
Yeah.
what we want to see. And it looks like Punk's gonna get his wish pretty soon.
This is good stuff, man. Like
It is.
this is great. We still don't know where Paul Heyman lies in all of this. I'm not sure if it's going to end up being revealed, but we don't know where Paul Heyman lies in all of this. Um, there's just so many different answers. There's nothing really popping on with the other bloodline. I we got no story talk or anything like that. They look great. They talking great. They have fun time. Solo's hilarious.
We're gonna
Um,
see Jacob hit that fucking dumbass moonsault off the cage. We already know what them niggas is gonna do. We already know what they're gonna do. All right, it's no shock.
who's winning?
The faces,
Yeah, yeah, they are
faces are winning.
absolutely.
Roman don't take a. He not taking two L's in a month, bro. It's just not gonna happen. He's gonna do this, and we'll see you in February for the Rumble. I think that's safe to say.
No, that is something to say for sure. It's
Unless I mean, I think Roman pin Solo
I
is
can't see
looking
Solo winning. Yeah, I can't see the new bloodline winning this at all. It's time for that to
dispersed.
yeah, wrap
Yeah,
that shit up.
it's time for that to disperse, and for the bloodline. Just, I mean, honestly, for the bloodline, just in general, that era of Roman's career to kind of end. Um, we had a good run. There has never been a storyline this long, other than like Austin McMahon, that has lasted this long. And or I guess NWO, I guess, but been consistently so good, right? Um,
Yes.
so I would love to see that dispersed, and I guess the big match is either a Saturday night's main event or a Rumble. It being Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala, and then that will close that chapter in that Bloodlines history. But again, huge rub for Bronson Reed, huge rub for Bronson Reed, huge rub for Jacob Fatu, Tamatonga. I'm a big fan. They've been doing a great job, I think, just as a collective. And again, we're seeing the culmination of a story they've built. I mean, since Mania, and that's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to this. Even though I don't really like War Games matches, I'm gonna give it a buck. I still don't like War Games matches.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of
Um,
punching and kicking. Don't
yeah,
worry.
that's something. You know how they get down. Um, I can't imagine a lot of creative spots coming from this group, um, or anyone coming off the top rope. Don't bring Bronson Reed up there. Well, I guess Jacob will. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure a lot of more cinema is going to happen, is what I'm assuming. Um, yeah, that's
All
kind
right.
of it.
That is it. Thank you guys for listening. We are going to be watching War Games, of course, this Saturday, and we're going to be coming back to you next week with the rundown on everything. And I think we should be revealing our year-end plans very soon. It'll be December when we're back with you guys. So
Yeah,
we'll let,
at this
we'll,
point, yeah.
yeah, we'll let you guys know our year-end 2024 plans next year as well. We got a lot of stuff planned. Obviously, this is all the Mania show and this are always like our biggest shows of the year. So make sure you stay tuned to that. So for Meals, I'm Justin. Make sure you guys have a very safe Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of food. Get fucking fat. Then work it all off next week and watch War Games. We'll be right back with you guys. Be safe. Have fun. Stay blessed. For Meals, I'm Justin. Peace out.